soon? Yay, please join me. I am a child of this universe. The ocean dances at my feet. The wind plays a melody through my head. I am loved at every turn. I am kissed by Mother Earth. I'm a child of this universe. I am a child of this universe. The sun warms me in its embrace. The stars have aligned for me in the sky. I am honored by your life. I am held by Father Time. Every blade of grass, every shaking leaf on a tree, every mountain top sings of the glory of God, moving through all, moving has me, moving has you, moving has me. Let's keep singing that a little bit. Moving has you, moving has me, moving has you, moving has me, moving. We're children of this universe. We're all connected. And now, by Reverend David Bruner and Karen Drucker, blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice, the spirit on earth. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. Again, you are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice, spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. One more time. I'm a blessing to the world.
Hey. Good morning. Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. Here, you got some beautiful, okay. Wow, that's okay. Comes with rings on her fingers and bells on her toes and flowers in her arms. How can you say no? Well, welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Steve Van Meter, your senior minister, and it's my honor and privilege to welcome you here this morning. You know, you have a lot of different places you could have shown up this morning, but you found yourself here. You happened in, you saw the light on, you saw the sign, and you said, "What the heck? I'm in the area. I think I'll stop by. What the heck?" But you know what? This is a divine appointment. We are so glad that you found yourself here. We're going to do what we do every Sunday. which is read our vision mission statement that says, we are an open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to evolving consciousness through teaching spiritual principles. That's what we do here, is we teach spiritual principles. And we're going to start with some announcements by our board president and practitioner, Jamaica Wallace. Let's welcome her up here.
Happy February. Good morning, everybody. All right. Well, time flies when you're spreading love, wisdom, and a little bit of rock and roll. This month, we are celebrating 9 incredible years with our beloved Reverend Steve here at our center. Woohoo! From his soulful message to his rock star spirit, Reverend Steve has been our guiding light, always laying down the deep, steady rhythm of truth, love, and of course, a killer bass line. His passion, kindness, and humor make our community stronger, and we are grateful for all that he does. So let's turn up the gratitude to full volume, have an amazing party, and celebrate this milestone. Woo-hoo! You rock, Rev Steve. We love you. We have some cake and some goodies after the service if you'd like to stay after and celebrate with us. And there's also a card back there if you'd like to sign that for Reverend Steve. And with that being said, we do have our potluck today. So if you would like to join us after service, hang out afterwards. We have some amazing food. And just as a little reminder, let's be sensitive to any of our friends who may need a little extra assistance or a little extra time. If we got an extra hand, we can help. And also, if you need a little extra time, let's allow those to go in the front of the line and serve themselves ahead of time or help them out with that. And speaking about our kitchen, we are still seeking some additional kitchen angels. If this is something that you might be interested in, we have some amazing helpers that have been helping for a very long time, and they could use a very well-deserved break. And so if that's something that you would be interested in being of service, you can see myself or Nedra after the service, and or there is a sign-up sheet available on the back counter for that. All right. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to everybody who has donated to our pen drive. Thank you guys so much. We have an abundance of pens overflowing. All of our classes and our chairs will be full. So thank you guys. We really appreciate that. And then we have a new class that's going to be starting, Pathways to the Soul. This is an 8-week transformative journey of self-discovery, healing, and spiritual connections. This unique class blends science of mind principles, soul collage, and chakra exploration to help you align your divine nature and embrace your highest potential. Each week, we'll explore a different chakra through science of mind teachings, understanding how universal spiritual laws align with our own energy centers. Through guided meditations and the creative process of soul collage, we'll connect with your personal chakra spirit animals, deepening your intuition of self-awareness. And by the end of the course, you'll have created a personalized deck of 7 guiding cards to support your continual spiritual evolution. This class is going to start on Saturday, February the 22nd at 12 noon, and it'll go till 3:30, 4 o'clock. We're giving ourselves a little half-hour leeway there. Like it's Saturday, the Saturday class. The cost is $225. That does include all of the materials. There are payment plans and scholarships available. Nobody will be turned away. All are welcome. This will be facilitated by myself and Samantha Hall. So there is a sign-up sheet available, and there's also some samples of what those soul collage cards look like on the back counter. And if you have any questions, you can speak with myself or Sam, and sign-up sheets back there as well. And our metaphysical book study group continues to meet on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. and goes till 9:45. That's held next door at the LEC, and they're continuing to study The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. Directly after that, our practitioners continue with the silent meditation. This is a 15-minute silent meditation that starts at 9:50 and goes till 10:05. So if you do find you're entering after that 9:50 mark, if you could just do that in the silence and try not to disturb anybody already in meditation. And then this week, our book of the week is This I Believe, edited by Jay Allison and Dan Geideman. Right? So this is available in the bookstore for 20% off this Sunday. And, okay, now we're moving into birthdays. Oh, it's birthday time. Do we have any birthdays? Anybody celebrating a birthday in February? Somebody? Yeah, no, yeah, maybe. We're going to sing it anyway, because somebody out there, right? Just because. So, all right, well, let's sing it anyway.
Oh,
Do we just
I don't think I brought the chords to that. I might mess up. Sorry, I forgot about this part. How about this key? 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Miss Day. Happy birthday to you.
All right. Our beautiful flowers today are from Barbara Scott. Thank you, Barbara. They're so gorgeous. And do we have anybody that is joining us for the first time today? If you're here for the first time, if you'd like to raise your hand, we have a gift for you. Welcome. We would love for you to stay after the service and join us for some refreshments. We look forward to getting to know you better. Welcome. If anybody has a cell phone, if you could please go ahead and turn that on silence or anything else that makes noise. And I believe that is the end of my announcement. So if you could please stand and we will sing We Are One.
We are one. We are one. I am you. You are me. We are one. And in this unity, we shall live in harmony as peace has come. As we are one, we are one, we are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity, we shall live in harmony as peace has come, as we are one.
Way down. Good morning, everyone. My name is Deborah Perdue, and I'm a licensed practitioner here, and I'm very honored to be serving you today. Please join me in reading the gratitude on the screen. I embrace my connection to all life with great gratitude. I'm so glad you're here today. Thank you for coming and being a part of this loving community. If you have a prayer request, please fill out the yellow form that can be found on the seat back. And you can also fill it out online at grantspascsl.org. When you have an answer to your prayer, as we know you will, use the blue form and share with us your demonstration, your manifestation of what you prayed for and how it came true. If you wonder what exactly a licensed practitioner does, there's a gold sheet in the seat back you can read. It also gives you our phone numbers, and we are here for you, and our main job is to pray. Today, our table practitioner is Janet Murray. She's holding the high watch for our service today, which means she's just holding us all in love and light and peace and the all good of God. She can direct you to a practitioner for prayer after the service or might do it herself. Will the practitioners who are available today please raise your hand? There's quite a few of us. Let's read the prayer together on the screen. I know that everything in life is interconnected. With this understanding, I am deeply compassionate with everyone, including myself. Let's sing I Am Love and just remain seated as we sing it. Today's theme is about radical interconnection. One of the biggest gifts from my CSL training has been to realize everything is interconnected. This is one of the core beliefs of our teaching. When I began realizing this, it was monumental for me. I started really feeling and understanding the oneness that is everywhere and in everything. I realized that all plants, animals, people, and all of nature is a part of the divine. I do feel that I knew this when I was a little girl too, but started to forget with my human training in school, as happens with most of us. I remember again now, and I cherish really knowing the interconnection of everything. I'm going to read a passage from 365 Science of Mind. It's February 21st. I let my light shine. Then we will go into the silence together for a minute or two, letting oneness sink into our consciousness. And I'll call you back when it's time. I let my light shine. People who spend a great deal of time in prayer, meditation, or communion with the Spirit gradually take on a new atmosphere, a new sweetness, a love and light that all others sense. The Old Testament often refers to a light always shining over the altar in the temple. This light is, of course, a symbol of the life that is never extinguished. The light of Jesus has been sensed by artists so completely that they have depicted it as an aura, an atmosphere of light, a halo. Now this light is real. There is such a light at the center of everything.
This is the divine stuff of which we are all made. There is nothing outside this light. Everything exists in it. There is light at the center of everyone. It is never obliterated, but it does seem that it's often obscured for various reasons. Jesus said, never put your light under a bushel, but to let it shine. I feel a deep sense of unity with everyone and with everything. I know that all is love, and I'm filled with the goodness of life. Love and light flow in and through me. I give thanks for the radiance of spirit within me. Let's take a couple minutes in silence. In this feeling of peace and serenity and oneness, I recognize the presence right here, right now, and everywhere. I know this Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living service this morning is blessed, is filled with love and connection, and that all that receive the message they are meant to receive, and that includes all here and those on Zoom as well. I'm so grateful for our coming together, for the powerful energy of our community, and grateful in advance for this morning's service, powerfully presented by Rev Steve. Thank you, God, and please join me in affirming, and so it is. So it's time for the beautiful light of Heather Hutton's music, and then Rev Steve's talk. Thank you.
My friend Eric Allen wrote a beautiful book called Grateful by Nature, and there's some of his photographs in there of just beautiful nature photographs. And in the book, he talks about going through so many things, including a cancer journey, having cancer, multiple house fires, and taking care of his mom in her final days. And the whole idea of the book is, if we have gratitude and a certain outlook, we can move through anything. And there's a beautiful interconnectedness in the book. And so I wanted to share this song I wrote based on that book with you. I call it Softened by Our Grace. May it bring you some healing too. The rivers to the ocean move wild and free, and sometimes linger near the road to home. It changes, and through twists and turns, we somehow find our way. Hey, hey. And on a smoke-filled day, the birds still sing after the darkest night. The dawn still holds on. Just hold on. The smallest seed, a prism in a world of light. Pictures from my day, even the smallest doorway will open to the widest of all places. Hey, 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 hey. And on that roughest day, will the birds still sing after the longest night? The dawn, hold on, just hold on, just hold on. refuge, and it's hard to know. I'll also build daily. We're all master gardeners, and what roots and grows depends on what we feed. So let's just see. And on a smoke-filled day, the birds still sing. After the darkest night, the dawn. So hold on, just hold on, just hold on. Leaves let go each autumn. As colors fade, they seem to know their way. The ground's below will hold them, and gravity is softened by the grace. Say, hey, hey, softened by her grace. Softened by your grace. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Heather. Let's hear it again for Heather. That down. We're gonna bring this down and leave that up, and the piano up. Okay. Well, here we are in February, huh? Wow, we made it. Another month, huh? Wow, time just keeps on rolling by. And yesterday, I celebrated the beginning of my 9th year here. Yay! Seems like just yesterday. Or 9 about years, depending on your perspective. Well, I want to thank you for letting me into your community, and it's become my community now, I guess. I guess after, a certain amount of time, you start being part of the community. And I guess I'm starting to warm up to this. I'm starting to get the hang of this. A couple more Sundays and I'll have it down. Just bear with me. So my title today is Emptiness, the Wonder of Interbeing. It's an interesting time right now, isn't it? Yeah. Have you gotten some of the prayer requests that are coming through? No? Yeah. I think that we all have our own little prayer requests that are coming through, You ever fall on your knees in front of the TV and go, what is going on? Click, Animal Planet, click, turn that on. How can you be sad when you're watching the animals forage in the snow or love each other? It's just a whole different vibe. So, when we can feel ourselves from the idea of separateness, we can find our own inner connectivity. Because it is from that place of being spun out that we realize how interconnected we are. And you might say, well, that's an oxymoron. But it is. You see, our actions and existence are intimately linked to everything else in the cosmos. It can be no other way. We are either everything or we are no thing. But we find ourselves in the midst of all that, in sometimes knowing our connectedness and sometimes experiencing our separation. And it is within that separation that brings us to the knowledge of wholeness. Thich Nhat Hanh wrote, "The whole planet is one giant, living, breathing cell with all its parts linked." Each of our bodies is shared and occupied by thousands of other organisms, and these microbes are necessary for life itself. And you are a necessary part of this life. Life would not be the same without you in it. It's imperative to get away from the myth of the self-made person. Now, you may have made yourself in the image and likeness of what you choose to be, do, and have, but you had help along the way. Sometimes people come into your life to show you how you shouldn't be. I've had some of my best managers in my jobs show me how not to do the job. And I vowed that when I became a manager, I will do it differently. Didn't you always have that, like, when I'm God, and I will be, I will do it better? Again, Thich Nhat Hanh writes in The Art of Living, when we free ourselves from the idea of separateness, we begin to have compassion. We have understanding, and we have the energy to help. In Buddhism, we always understand action as having these three aspects: thinking, speaking, and acting. When we produce a thought, it is energy in action. And it can change us and change the world in a good way or a bad way. Unfortunately, we get those mixed around, thinking, speaking, and acting. You know, we act first, and then we speak first, and then we think about what we spoke, and then we try to make up for it, right? Then you're constantly making amends in your life. If we are in the right mode of thinking, we have a healing and nourishing effect on our body and our environment. Right thinking can make the world a better place to live. And you might, want to speak that at the TV at some point, right? Right? Maybe shout it. But, people who are out of control, as it were, they're not listening, they're spinning out. Let them have their spin out. Now, you can buy into it and be part of their spin out, or you can acknowledge that they're spinning out and go, wow, it's really neat how they're figuring this out for themselves. Speaking can have the effect of releasing tension. So maybe you want to speak to the TV. Maybe you want to go out in nature and have a good talk with Mother Nature about the experience you're having. Go shout at a tree. You'll end up hugging it at the end. See, speaking is kind of an energy, and there's a force to it. But when we realize that the source within us is what's speaking through us, we have a different energy. Physical action is also an energy that can bring healing to ourselves and our world. But what are we doing? See, we can do something that has either power of part of the challenge or power as part of the solution. So, what energy are you? Are you part of the challenge or are you part of the solution? This isn't to say which you are. This is up to you to decide what's right for you. Sometimes I can wake up and be part of the solution, and by evening time I'm part of the problem. Or vice versa. Sometimes I wake up part of the problem, and by evening time I'm part of the solution. And the magic is to know when you're in what energy you're in. Every thought we produce, every word we reproduce, and everything we do changes our body, mind, and our environment. Are you cursing or are you praising? It's just a different energy. The environment in which we find ourselves is the result of our thinking. So if you find yourself in upset or in cursing, just take a moment to recenter and just go, you know what? I'm going to Tai Chi that energy and let it go by me. I'm going to just let that go. Because when you become it, you live in that energetic. Don't, have you ever felt like somebody shouting in front of you saying, you, ba, 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 and you match that energy by, you know what, but you, ba, 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 ba. This is what road rage is all about. Instead of taking that moment to go, you know what, I wonder what's upsetting them that they have to take it out on their driving. And here's the most metaphysical thing you can do. Go ahead. Go ahead. You apparently have somewhere much more important than I do to be. So you go there. God bless you on your way. But see, we want to be in front. We want to be there before. You know, when I was a kid, I asked my parents, so who's in the lead on the freeway? Like who's winning? I didn't understand it was a place, you know, it was something to get to somewhere else. I thought it was a race. So who's going to win on the freeway? Hurry up and wait. Right, if you grew up in Southern California, it's basically a moving parking lot. The environment in which we find ourselves is a result of our thinking. So what are you thinking? And again, this isn't to say, well, you're thinking wrong or you're thinking right. It's just to observe where we're thinking. And when we find ourselves in a challenging situation, instead of matching the energy with the energy of the situation, it's an invitation, a prayer request, to take a step back, take a moment, and empty ourselves. Be that stillness. You know when the practitioner gets up here and does that moment of stillness and we all be quiet for just a second? God, I love that. You know, only happens for just a second. I mean, I try to get the practitioners to do a full minute, but it seems like forever. It is so, when you're standing up here and you're like watching the clock, it seems like forever. But we all need that in our lives. And I would encourage you to carve out some time for stillness and to find a time and a place. And I would encourage you to go into nature because it's much easier in nature. See, I can't be still. I have to be moving, you know, and nature moves for me. When I'm in nature, I can be still and there's still all this stuff going on that I can pay attention to. So that helps me be still because it's not stillness. I need to hear the birds. I need to see the wind and feel the wind and be around a tree. I need that because that's where I find my connection. That's my wholeness. That is my meditative, natural state of connection. And see, when we're amongst all of the challenging appearances that are going on, we're spun out, right? We have an opinion about just about everything, don't we? So, your environment is who and what you are. And if you find yourself with the inability to be still, just recognize it. Go, you know what? I am having a hard time being still right now. It's difficult for me with everything that's going on in the world to be in my balance. And right now, it takes the consciousness of a saint to stay in balance, doesn't it? There's a lot of things that are pulling us into separation, or the appearance of separation. See, you've never been separated, and you can never be separated from who and what you truly are. It can't be done. The appearance can seem like you are way out of control. So, with mindfulness, compassion, and understanding, we can assure a better future for yourself and for the entire world. The divine is omnipresent. What does that mean? Present everywhere, all at the same time. There is not a spot where God is not. That means sitting in your seat is the divine. Now, you can believe that it's not, but that doesn't make it not. It still is all that is. You know, maybe you had an argument with a family member. That ever happened? Or a friend. Maybe you didn't see eye to eye on something. Maybe somebody brought up something political. God bless them. But far beyond the political atmosphere, there's a wholeness. And all of these things that are happening are to remind us how off balance we are. Boy, it's doing a really interesting job right now, really. Wow, this really feels out of balance, doesn't it? But it's an invitation. It's a prayer request to find your balance within it. And if you can, and you will, we all will, find our balance within this thing that is spinning out, something powerful starts to happen. When we recognize all life as interconnected, we can cultivate a profound sense of compassion and understanding. Rather than judging someone who has a different point of view, you can step back and go, wow, what an interesting perception of separation they have. God bless them. Instead of cursing them for their political or ideological view of life, bless them for being that place to show you how connected you are. See, this is using the power before you as the power within you. This brings you into perfect alignment by taking that step back and emptying yourself of condemnation and going, wow. God bless us, everyone. Hello? This realization fuels our transformational energy. Rather than it being a wet blanket, let it be a fire that gives you a zest for your next greatest yet to be. This is using this transformational energy in a positive fashion. Now, maybe you're in an argument with a loved one, but they're still a loved one. Can you take a step back and go, you know what? They have a very interesting perspective on this. It's very different than mine. And I love their perspective. Well, I'm learning to love their perspective. But I love who they are. My mom used to say that to me all the time. I don't like what you're doing, but I love who you are. I do not like your choices, but they're your choices. You know, with the recognition of this unity, we're more likely to act with kindness and consideration, driven by awareness that our actions affect not just ourselves, but the entire web of life. See, the perspective that you have, this is quantum physics. If the observer is affecting the experience, then how are you observing? Are you observing as negative energy or positive energy? And again, this isn't to judge, this is just self-reflection of where am I coming from? Ernest Holmes reminds us that it is not enough to pray and meditate, we must also act in the world. We must do something when we see something. Now, I'm not going to get up here and tell you what you should or should not do. You know, there's some people that have been saying, you should get more political in your talks on Sunday. I'm like, no. If I do that, I just put separation into who we are. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back on you. You get to decide. It's up to you to make the difference. I hold the container open and allow all of this to go on. There is a field of all opportunity, and within that field we will dance. We may throw things at each other, but we will dance. And in the dance of life, we will find each other that we are not so far off from our thinking. In We Can Talk to God by Ernest Holmes, he wrote, "We would defeat the very purpose of life should we live in a continuous state of meditation and prayer. Oblivious to the objective world, the practical values of spiritual perception remain latent until objectified. Any attempt to isolate oneself from the world of action is contrary to the order of the universe, therefore futile. Through mindfulness, we can embody inner being. This means not having an attitude." Can you not have an attitude? It's all in your attitude. Don't give me that attitude. Mom used to say that too. No attitude. I'd be like, take this. See, mindfulness is what it's all about. Is checking in with yourself. Am I one way or the other? Or am I in divine connection? Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and aware in every moment without judgment or distraction. Okay. Again, mindfulness is the practice of being fully present, not being pulled in one way or t'other, just being in the observation mode. And can we respond with love? Don't react. You know, somebody hits your knee and your leg kicks. That's a reaction. Well, after your leg stops kicking, you can decide to keep kicking or not. Or you can let it hang there and just go, you know what? I'm going to observe with love. I'm going to respond with love. Sometimes it's tough love, right? Right now the world needs some tough love to be real. I mean, that's my perception of the world, I have to say. But we all have opinions, don't we? We just need to not have our opinion be so strong that it puts out the fire of someone else's. Can we have ours and be okay with theirs? Maybe we're off. You know, there was a time when people that used to think about UFOs and flying saucers were crazy. Maybe they still are. But you know, there was a time when people thought that electricity was crazy. What are you kidding? You flip a switch and the light goes on? How does that gonna work? You have to light it with a fire. Through mindfulness, we learn to pay attention to our thoughts, our feelings, and the environment around us in a way that is accepting and observant. Can you be observant without being judgmental? Can you just go, wow, that's so interesting, rather than, oh, that's so wrong? Wow, that's interesting. Well, next time something comes up before you that you have a judgment about, imagine a river. And in that river, you're just sitting on the bank and you're watching the river go by. And in that river, you see that there's something floating in it that's caught your attention. Now, rather than judging if it's good or bad, just observe it and watch it come into your view. There it is, right before you, and now it's going out of view. Wow, that was so neat. I got to observe something that came into my view and was right before me and now is leaving. That's the energy that we need to have right now, is just observe and send love to it all. Can you do that? Can you just love it? Even if you don't like it? Like my mom would say to me, I don't like what you're doing, but I love who you are. We need to love our brothers and sisters because they're bringing information that needs to come up to the surface to be released. That's what's going on right now. Things are boiling over a little bit, aren't they? So when we're mindful, we see how our lives are linked to each other, how our actions impact others, and how others' conditions reflect on our own experience. This is the reciprocal universe we live in. You see, there's only one of us here. Source, God, Goddess, Great Spirit, Christ consciousness, Jesus the Christ. There's only one of us here, outpicturing as the billions of countless life forms that are expressing itself as only the divine can. But we're all the divine. If there's not a spot where God is not, then that person that you're arguing with is God too. It's that part of yourself that you don't want to look at. So instead of wrestling with your angel, just acknowledge them. You don't have to agree with them, but just acknowledge, wow, that's an interesting perspective, divine, loving, infinite source of all creativity. As my teacher, my mentor would say, everyone blesses us, some coming into our lives and some leaving. Your good is elsewhere. Go there quickly. Mindfulness thus dissolves the barriers and we often erect between ourselves and others. Caring for others is inherently caring for ourselves. See, that person you're having the challenge with is yourself. You just haven't quite understood it completely yet. In practical terms, mindfulness practice might involve conscious breathing, a walking meditation, or engaging fully with whoever we are with and whatever we're doing. If somebody starts saying something that you don't agree with, it's okay. Just connect with their soul. Just go, God bless this person. And forgive me. But I at a certain point, I turn off, like, the negative. If I see where they're going, I'm like, but I connect with who they are. And when you do that, it transcends any conversation you might have. Maybe the response is, I hear you. not I agree with you or don't agree with you, is I hear you. Because when you say I hear you, that's all we really want. That's all we really want, is to be heard. I hear you. Thank you for sharing your perspective with me. And then they're like, shuts them down right away. You ever been in an argument with somebody, and instead of arguing, you just fall silent because you know you're right? And you just go, oh, God bless you. God bless you. That really ticks them off. What do you mean? God bless me. God bless you. And then you get in this blessing, who can bless who the more? The most. Such practices ground us in this present moment, allowing compassion to arise naturally as we become more attuned to the life that's unfolding around us and within us. That's what this is all about. All the misunderstanding, all the things that are playing out are to remind us of who we truly are. Without hot, you wouldn't know cold. Without high, you wouldn't know low, and vice versa. Well, we're getting some very interesting perspective right now on high and low and in and out. Interbeing and mindfulness provide powerful tools for transformation. So you're being provided with some powerful tools of transformation. Here we grow. Here we grow. Ain't it fun? By recognizing that personal health, economic stability, and environmental stability, are dependent on the health and actions of others, we can advocate for policies and systems that are beneficial for each person and supportive of the communal and global energy that we all are one. That's what's going on here, is we're remembering our oneness. But everything unlike that has to come to the surface and boil over. So we're in the midst of that. So in conclusion, as we seek deeper connection and purpose, let's embrace the transformative practice of mindfulness and inner beingness. Let's remember who we are. That automatically puts it on other people to go within and align with who they are. See, if we have two people that are spinning out of control, it's like one person who's drowning and you don't know how to swim and you jump in to help them. Now you got two people that are drowning and no one to go get help. Go get help. Connect. Connection. This is an affirmation that I use, and I invite you to do it. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I calm my mind. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I calm my mind. If your focus wanders, simply bring it back to your breath. Your breath is your connection to spiritual transformation. So let's take time to sit. Just sit without being distracted. No phone, no internet, no music, no TV, no TikTok, no YouTube, no Facebook. Click that stuff off. And be with a tree or an animal, a pet. Be with yourself for a second if you can. God, I know, it's so crazy. How can I be with myself? I don't even like myself sometimes. But just be and notice the world around you. Inner being teaches us that our lives are intertwined with each other and the world around us. Empty your mind and connect to all that is. Recognize this interconnectedness in all your interactions. Be still and know that you are God. So it is. Amen. Thank you. Okay, well, it's time for us to follow our teaching and go within. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or take a soft focus on the beautiful flowers or the candles. Let's just take a moment and connect with all that is. And in that moment of stillness, is from where life springs eternal. I invite you to bring to the forefront of your consciousness what you choose to believe that the power that created you is. Christ consciousness, Jesus the Christ, God Almighty, source energy, great spirit, goddess, God, divine energy of science. Whatever you want to call it is your business. But I think we can agree that whatever we call it individually, collectively, there is one thing animating all that is. It is bringing into your life exactly what is needed in this moment for our complete healing. It is reminding us of the places that we have to remember who we are. Maybe there's a situation that has come before you right now that needs your healing. I don't know what it is for you, but I know that the power that created you knows exactly what's in your life, and that there is a reason for it being there. It is a point of transformation for you that you are working with. Imagine it being healed right now. Imagine that whatever needed to come to pass has come to pass, and that you are now on the other side of that healing. There is a great transformation happening in the world right now. An energy that we are is part of the healing and revealing of the truth. We are part of the solution. And as we align with the all that is, everything that needs to be known is coming before us to be remembered and released back into the nothingness from which it came. For the only thing we need to know is that we are connected. We are one. Anything that may be going on in your life and in your body is part of the healing, transformative energy of the universe knowing itself. So let's allow that healing. Let's get our bloated nothingness out of the way so those divine circuits are flowing. And as they flow, they carry the healing energy of knowledge, transformation, divine right action, wholeness, health, and healing right now. Let's be grateful for the truckloads of good that are on their way to this world of form right now. Turning away from what doesn't work, not to deny it, but not to give it any more power. We turn into the healing. And as we turn into the healing, the divine universe turns into us, healing that sense of separation right here and right now. There is only one of us here, and that's love. Love is all that is. Let's be grateful for that healing. How grateful we are. In that gratitude of wholeness and healing, something transformative is happening by means of each one of us collectively. So we let go, releasing this word directly into the living, loving law of mind where it is already done. And we thrive, not just survive. We thrive in the healing of love on this plane of existence, and any other plane that exists is now healed. So we let go and we let God, Source, Great Spirit, be that in our lives. And the miraculous energy has now been activated, and we are it. And so it is. Amen. There you are. Hello, hello. All right, well, it's time for our prosperity affirmation. So I invite you to take your gift and put it in your hand, and put your hand on your heart, or just your hand on your heart if that's what you're giving today. And we'll recite this together. I offer my gift in gratitude, knowing that I am giving to a loving, ever-abundant source of God. And I am the way. So it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so, one more time. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. One more time. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Time for us to say a prayer for our offertory this morning. So I invite you to pray with me once more. From the love of pure spiritual energy, these tithes and gifts have been collected. They are evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world of form. They do good work in the world by blessing the giver and the receiver, and allowing this, the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living, to be open and available for those who are choosing to remember who they are in this world, and even for those who may not know it yet. And for that, everyone is blessed. And so it is. Amen. All right, let's stand up and sing our peace song, shall we?
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator.
now for our benediction. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful is happening right now.
It's happening in my mind.
It's happening in my mind.
It's happening in my body.
It's happening in my body.
It's happening in the body of my affairs.
It's happening in my body.
I think it.
I think it.
I feel it.
Feel it.
And I know it.
I know it.
Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Have an awesome week, everybody. God bless. Enjoy.